Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Live Strong podcast. OMG, guys, this is the final episode for 2025. Honestly, guys, where has this year bloody gone? I actually can't believe that this is the end. Like, this is the end of the year where, like, all the wrap up things are going to start to come out. I guess my wrap up is a little bit early, but if you didn't know, I'm actually going overseas next week. So this will be the final episode for us here at the Live Strong podcast. And I'm going to go on a little it'll probably end up being like a 7-week hiatus. Coming back at the end of Jan, and I'm assuming episode 1 is going to be some form of a wrap up of the holiday and the holiday season and my big trippy poodle. So I'm so excited. I just can't believe that it's next week. As I'm recording this right now, in a week's time, I'll be in LA living my best life. So crazy shit is happening. I can't believe it. This trip is honestly one of those trips that I've dreamt about doing. I think going to America for a lot of people, they're not really fast. I know a lot of people don't like America and a lot of opinions, but I grew up in the YouTube era with severely following all of the YouTubers of I don't know, was that 2015 or something? Around then when YouTube was popping. And I don't know, just that life. I feel like I grew up with that LA life being so glamorized, and everyone was moving to LA for all to chase their dreams, to make it big and all that sort of thing. So I feel like it's a trip that I've just always dreamt of doing, and I can't believe that I'm going to be going there, which is so exciting. And then we're going to Disneyland, which is just a bucket list thing, isn't it? Going to the real deal Disneyland. And I'm honestly the biggest child. So fun. I love rides. I love being silly. Put those ears on me and let me run around. That will be me for the day. Then we're going to New York, and guys, I actually feel emotional thinking about it. But look, I actually think I'm mildly tearing up. I don't even cry, but fuck, going to New York is my dream. Look at me. I literally look like I'm crying. Oh my God. I actually said to Nathan, I was like, what's the bet we land in New York and I start crying? It could physically happen. New York is my friends that know me and people that know me, if there's anywhere I could live in the world, it'd be New York. I just think that is the lifestyle I'm meant to be living. Well, look, I'm meant to be living this lifestyle. When I say this, you don't really think that's me, but the hustle and bustle, get me a big trench coat on, I want to be going to fancy ass dinners in dark rooms, fuck yes, I'm so excited. And just doing all of the things in New York, ever. So then that will happen, and then we go to Vegas for New Year's Eve. I don't know why I'm telling you this whole holiday trip. That wasn't the plan of this podcast. But anyway, I just thought we'd start here. Then we're going to Vegas for New Year's Eve, which is just going to be absolutely litness. It's going to be so busy. I'm already prepared for the chaos. As I've got older, I've got slightly worse in crowds. And I've become more of an anxious person in really large environments. And I don't know, I probably have some sort of something that needs to be probably medicated, but I sometimes can, if I'm very overstimulated, I find it really hard to come to me, to be within my body sort of thing. So I'm already a bit oh my God, I hope it's not a bit too chaotic. Same with being in New York. I've got these dreams, but I'm I know we're going the busiest time of the year. So I'm already preparing myself for that, but I'm hoping that it's just, I manage it well within myself. But yeah, we're going to Vegas for New Year's Eve, doing heaps of fun things in Vegas. And then we go snowboarding in Whistler in Canada for so long. And if you don't know, me and Nath love snowboarding. Nath actually like introduced me into snowboarding. I'd never been in the snow before meeting him, but we've now been together for pretty much 10 years. So I'd say we've gone to the snow nearly every single year of those 10 years. So I've gone a good amount of time. And in saying that, we've gone every year and only one of those times was in Australia. So I've done a lot of like big snow holidays. And yeah, we're going to go live our best life at the snow. And people are like, aren't you going to get bored being there for so long? Like, guys, you don't understand. Like, we could live at the snow. Like, this is our vibe. We once were going to do like a full snow season in Japan, and we'd gone through heaps of loops to do it. And then I think Nath ended up deciding to go back to uni, and it was a full situation. But like, we would have loved, that's probably like, I wouldn't say a regret, but like maybe it is a regret. One thing that I wish we did was like a full like 6 months to a year over in a snow season. Like, you know, people go to Japan and you do a bit of travel maybe in the summer, and then you go to a full snow season, then you do a bit more travel, and then you come home. Yeah, I probably would have loved to have done something like that, but we didn't, and it's not very realistic for us to do now. But what is realistic for us? Just go on many week long holidays. So that's what we're doing, and then we eventually come home. So that is what's happening. So bloody excited. But this podcast, we're wrapping up this year, 2025. I feel like 2025 has been a bit like of an interesting year for a lot of people that I know. I feel like a lot of people have had like medium years, but I feel like I thrived this year. So sorry to those who didn't thrive this year. And it's okay. It's okay not to thrive every year. So I'm going to do a month by month like recap of the year, and that's how we're going to sort of run through the year. So I've got 12 little dot points for 12 little months about my year, and they're all pretty much highlights. I didn't really put any lowlights in, but I guess at the end we might have some learning lessons. Let's see. So that's where the noise would be if I had sound effects in this podcast, but you know, I bloody don't edit it very well. So starting with January 2025. Now, if you haven't been here for long, you've missed it, but this was my bridal year this year. Did get married, but in January, it was my hens. That was the highlight. The hens, honestly, is in like the top 3 events of the year, maybe the top 2. Like, my hens was so much fun. Like, so much fun. Like, I wish I could do that again. I feel like for one of my birthdays one year, I'm just gonna have to do a girls trip and like do sort of like a replica of a hens, but like a birthday trip. So much fun. We went to Brisbane. We were there. I was there Thursday to Monday. Some people were there different days. My sister and my bridesmaids planned it. They absolutely excelled. There was no dramas, no crazy, like nothing really went wrong. Like, I love to have a party. I love to have a drink. I love to have a dance, but I'm not like a pissy person. Like, I never really like ever I probably been blackout drunk once, maybe actually twice in my life I can think of. But like, besides that, like I drink within reason. So it wasn't like a huge piss up of a weekend. So like, everyone sort of like behaved themselves. I feel like everyone had fun. We did day activities, night activities. It was so much fun. And you know what? I just love things being about me. Let's all be honest here, guys. You know it. I know it. I thrive. That's where I was thriving. I was like, yes, who wants a photo? You know, let's get all pretty, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, and my bridesmaids also made me feel like a little princess the whole time. Like, I didn't lift a finger, which again, that is my dream. So, yeah, hence, big slate. February. Now, I just like to make things hard for myself. It's just the way I roll generally. So while we're getting married and doing all these things at the beginning of the year, I decided to do like the biggest renos ever in the gym. And we extended our mezzanine out by, I think it's 4 meters, which, like, I think when people like look at the gym, well, I don't know, they probably just think, oh yeah, you're doing renovations. But like, guys, I'm just a girl, and like, me making like big business decisions is like a big decision, you know? So that was a pretty big thing to get these renovations done, like financially, logistically, like lots of things went into place to get that to happen. But yeah, the renos have led to great success in the gym this year. It's meant that our PT space upstairs has doubled in size. And all 5 coaches at Live Strong run PT sessions and have only got busier this year with PT. So that has allowed us to do that. We now have a physiotherapy office within the gym or clinic, like room, whatever, which has made it a lot more professional for Nath, and his business has boomed this year because of that as well. Plus, myself and Phoebes and the other girls, we have an office now. It is a little shoebox, but it's perfect. If you guys don't know, Phoebe does a lot of back end work for the gym, so she actually works in that office every day, and it's just meant that we've been a bit more like real deal business people this year. So big tick for February. Now March was the big boomer, the wedding. Yeah, got married. That was a slay. I have a full 2-part recap on the wedding on this podcast, so I feel like I don't need to do a full recap, but our wedding was like the best day of our lives. I think people say that, but like it was. It was just fun, happy, like we were thriving. Like I feel like we just looked happy. We were like exerting positive energy into the world. Fuck, it pissed down with rain in the morning. It was like the worst rain I've seen like all year in the morning of the wedding. And then it turned out to be a beautiful day, and like it was just 10 out of 10 perfect. Like I wouldn't even change that the rain happened. Like if it was a really hot day, I would have had the shits because I would have been so sweaty. And even at some points, like later in the day, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting really hot. Like fan me, please. But yeah, the wedding like was amazing. The wedding also, obviously we had help from our parents, which like we were very, very, very grateful for. But it was also like a very big financial investment, as I'm sure people understand who have planned a wedding or looked into planning a wedding or just know anything about weddings. Like, fuck, they are expensive. And I think that was a pretty big achievement for me and Nath as well. Like, I think we pulled off something of our dreams, which we are very proud that we did. So that was that, like that, and like I'm just sort of skimming past it, but like that was huge. Like I got married, changed my last name, like we did all the thing. It was wedding weekend, like slay. So much fun. So much fun. And again, much like the hens, me and Nate are like, okay, how can we recreate this again? Like, what are we gonna do to redo this? We're like, maybe at our 10-year wedding anniversary, we're like, let's book out a place at the Hunter Valley and let's just do it again. Should we? We probably will. You know us, guys. And then what's the next month? April. We went to Fiji for our honeymoon, which was so nice. Like, I feel like it was I don't know if this is the right word, but like an uneventful holiday. Like that's probably not the right way to describe it, but it was just like a nothing holiday. Like me and Nate literally just went and ate, drank, laughed, swam, like we just had the best week of doing nothing. In saying that, we did do a few things, like we did a few day trips, we did a jet ski tour, which was actually so fun, except I was just like screaming the whole time. Sometimes I think I'm really good at things, and then other times, then I do the things and I'm like, you're actually not. Like me, I was like, yeah, I can, obviously I'd be able to drive a jet ski. And then there's me on there like, rum, rum, rum. Nathan's like, you need to just, and then next minute I'm like, I've got the throttle on, but like, I don't realize I'm like leaning on the side of the throttle, like my arm. So then we just got like start going in a circle. Fuck, it was funny. But yeah, that was really fun. Anyway, we went to Fiji in April. So like the year, guys, this is only April and look at how much shit we've fucking done. Like this year's been hectic. Then May, like this is just like a little side note. My birthday's in May. I had a really nice like girls' lunch, and then we had a few drinks. Like that was a slate. My girls' lunch was really fun. We did it Blanca. So cute. I should do that every year. Anyway, but that's not the highlight. The highlight that I added in for May is actually that this year, myself and 5 of our friends, we got Knights memberships. So like Newcastle Knights, NRL football team memberships. And even though the footy season is like March to September, maybe, I just chucked it in the May month here in the middle. Even though the Knights suck dogs' balls, and this year they were the worst of the worst, they literally got the wooden spoon, we had the best time at those games. And the year meant that like every week or every second week we all caught up. We generally would have like dinner with it. Like we'd have like a barbecue and go to football or whatever. And we just sit there, and us girls, we would just sit there like, we're into the game. Don't get me wrong. We're into the game. We know the players now. Like, we're committed. But like, we just sit there and chat away, like catch up. It's just such a good like, and it only takes like an hour, 2 hours out of your day. It's not like your whole weekend has to commit. When we go, we don't. The boys might have a drink, but like, we're not, like I said before, we're not really big drinkers, and a lot of my friends aren't the biggest drinkers ever. So we're not there having like getting on the piss or anything. Like, we just go. Sometimes I might take a little Coke Zero in my bag, and so much fun. We're doing it again in 2026. And so last year we had 6 of us that did it. Next year we have 13 of our friends doing it. And it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. I think everyone was like, actually realized that we loved it this year. And like, it was just such a good way to catch up every single week. Football. I think we need to do like a betting thing this year. Like, what do you do? Tipping, footy tipping. I need to organize that for this year. But yeah, that was the highlight of the year. So that's May. And then June, we wrapped up our first gym challenge. Our gym challenge is always like a very busy time, both in the gym and out of the gym. Like, a lot of work goes into organizing these things and getting everything ready to run smoothly and for it to run to plan. So that's what happens behind the scenes, generally before the challenge starts. And then during the challenge, generally our clients are more motivated, more accountable, more consistent, turning up more. So in the gym, we are also a lot busier, which is good. And it's always, it's a very positive time for the business when we have the challenge on. That was a big one. The first one of the year, I'm pretty sure it was the first one we did with Scarlett. She might have done a little bit. I think she did a little bit with us in the challenge the year before, but we just did it solely with the dietitian Scarlett at the beginning of the year. And over the past 2 years, we've had a few big changes to our challenges and how we want them to run. So that was like another new experiment of things, which was all well and good. Wrap up of that, we had, what did we do for the party? Oh, we did Charlie's Rooftop Bottomless Brunch. It was a hit. It was fun. Everyone had a good few hours together. Running gym events like the parties and stuff are always fun. I actually think I'd be like an event planner. That's what I would do in New York. If I moved to New York, I'd be an event planner, I think, or planning like fancy dinners and shit like that. So I enjoy planning them, but it is sort of hard getting together like a group of people who don't know everyone. Like, people know people from their gym class. Like, if you train at 5 a.m., you know the 5 a.m. people, but you don't know who trains in the Arvo. So it's nice when everyone gets together, everyone gets involved, gets included. But I always like to do it around at some form of event. Like, this was bottomless brunch, so you're just drinking, but at least you're there for a reason. So that's June. We're halfway through the year. Then in July, me and Phoebe did our first High Rocks, which is like that fitness competition. And again, we have a whole recap on the podcast on the High Rocks. And we trained, I think it was 12 weeks or 8 weeks. Can't remember, leading into it. Very out of my comfort zone. Hadn't really done something like that before. I haven't ever been a runner. So these sort of events are sort of, out of my normal scope of practice, let's say. But it was a really, really good day and achievement, and loved training for it, loved the event, loved doing it, minus the fact that I actually felt like I was going to pass out. If you watch the recap, you'll know that I was not in a good place that day. It was not my vibe. And I was somewhat disappointed in my performance, because I know that I had more to give, and in training I'd been giving so much more, and I just died in the arse. I had a terrible actual day of performance, but it was a really big win. Can't wait to do the next one. Like, I'll definitely do another one. I'm hoping to do at least 2 next year, but we'll just wait and see. They're really hard to get tickets for, which is quite hard and quite annoying, because you're keen for it, and then if you don't get the tickets, you just, there's no other way around it. So I'm hoping, fingers and toes across for that. And then August, one of my best friends, Jacinda, she got married. So she actually got married in October, but it sort of slipped in well here in the August situation, because August we went for her hens, but then we sort of had those 8-ish weeks leading into her wedding. We had lots of fun events, and it was all fun stuff. Like, had so much fun at all of them, like cute outfits, cute events. We went to the Gold Coast for our hens, which was such a fun weekend. We went up to the Hunter Valley for a bridal shower, and then their wedding was in Sydney, which was so much fun. Like I said, the wedding was in October, but it all sort of started in August with the hens. So that was like a big highlight of the year, and it was so nice sharing like our wedding year with them. Like we had our wedding stuff at the beginning of the year and their wedding stuff at the end of the year. So nice. That was so fun. All of our friends are nearly married now. Like, we're getting close to, like, of that friend group, sorry. That's like Nathan's friendship group, sort of. They're my friends, but you know what I mean? And then my friendship group, again, they're like Nathan's friends as well. You know, we've been together for 10 years, so like everyone's friends with everyone. But my friendship group, like, only one other person's been married. So like, it's very different, like nearly all married and pretty much no one married. So, but that was a big slay. And then September, we had the Livestrong Games, which was our recreation of Hyrox, but for our clients in the gym. And big slay. I like running this event. Again, I love events. I love organizing things like this. But running this event really made me, like, it gave me some good visions of what I want to do in the future. The day ran without an absolute hiccup at all. It was so smooth. I feel like it ran quite professionally. Like, it had a good flow about it. I'd sort of thought of everything, pat myself on the back. Big success. Leading into that, we had a 6-week training program in the gym for it. So our clients were training for it, and maybe it was 8 weeks. I can't remember. But it sort of led off, me and Phoebe did Hyrox, and it sort of flowed into our clients. So it was like a nice little flowing effect. And best believe the Livestrong Games aren't done. They will return. Still figuring out where they're going to sit in next year's plans. So guys, I've got some big plans for the gym next year. I've got some big business goals, like, over this next year or two that I want to achieve. So I feel like this year's just been like hectic wedding year. And then we always were going to do this big holiday at the end of the year. It's sort of like our honeymoon 2.0. So next year, it's going to be a bit more of a business-focused year. So, again, we will do it again. I just need to figure out where it's going to sit. But big win, big success story. So much fun. October, Pitbull. Guys, went to saw Pitbull, which was so much fun. Haven't been to, like, a festival-y thing in ages. And this was, like, it's all R&B music. Who did we see? Tiny Temper, Jordan Sparks, obviously Pitbull, Wiz Khalifa. So like a few people who I wouldn't normally go and see, but we had so much fun. It was such a good day. It was quite warm. We were literally on the barricade. We had really expensive tickets because one of our friends, Jacinda, the one that got married, she, big Pitbull fan. She's like, guys, we needed to go large. And so we all committed and we were on the barricade. It was so much fun. So much fun. So October, snaps for Pitbull. Then November, guys, my sister got engaged. So exciting. I actually still can't believe she's engaged because she's like my little baby, you know, even though we're only 2 years apart. So it's meant that she's got engaged the same age that I got engaged. So we're following each other's footsteps here, as we tend to do. Or to be honest, we tend to do things at the same time. So I don't know if that means that she's an early bloomer or I'm a late person. But was so nice. And her and Max, her fiance, they're so happy and, you know, we love. And even though they've been together for like 7 years or something like that. So they've been together, they live together, like not much changes as you know, but it's just an exciting time. And then you enter your bridal era and even though, you know, this is her story to tell, but she started thinking about wedding things or whatever that looks like for them. And it's just always exciting to even just start thinking about it. So yeah, that was November. And then December, which is literally right now, we had the wrap up of our second challenge, the final push, which I've probably said this a lot, but this honestly was the most successful challenge we've ever had at Livestrong. For many reasons. I think it was ran a lot more professionally on the back end. We advertised it the best we've ever advertised. We were organised more than we've been organised for any other challenge. Like all the beginning and back end stuff we nailed, which people probably don't even recognise as much, but it makes a big difference for us and I guess how people perceive the challenge as well. We've completely flipped how we do our challenges, so it's been really different. But I I think all of the changes we made were all positive. So they're things we're going to take into future challenges, which is just a really, really, really big win for us. Like finding things that click. We don't like to do the bare minimum. Like when we are doing challenges, or even when I'm doing anything with my gym, I want it to be the best I can make it be. I'm not just putting out anything for the sake of it being put out. So yeah, really, really happy with how this challenge went. It was really successful. So many great results for so many different people in different ways. So I think pretty much everyone could speak positively about their experience over this challenge. So it was a big win. We wrapped with some awards, and we wrapped with our Christmas party on Saturday, which was so much fun. It was literally on a heat wave. So like heat wave on the weekend, we're at the races, like the horse races. But guys, the wind was blowing, everyone was in a good mood, and there was no dramas, there was no hiccups. Like it was just a really fun day with all our clients. And that pretty much brings us to today. That was Saturday, the races, and now it's a new week, and the year's pretty much over, which is crazy. We again, we're always doing things at the gym, but we're doing a 12 days of Christmas little giveaway in the gym at the moment. So we've still got things happening in the gym. We're not like all over and out and closed off, because we're also open over Christmas. So still things are happening. And I guess if you're listening to this and you want to train over Christmas, we've got casual passes, which is a great way to train casually, like it says in the name, at the gym without committing to a membership. So if you're listening to this and you've been wanting to try Live Strong, maybe over the Christmas break's a good time when a lot of other gyms are maybe closed or a bit more restricted than us. Or maybe you've got family around who wants to train over the Christmas break. You know, I know people are popping into Newcastle, or people are just off work and whatnot. So casual passes are the way to go, and you can find them on our website. But this year, guys, has been a huge year. Personally, like getting married is obviously like a really big thing in your life. What do you think? I also chopped off all my hair. I've re-chopped it again. So that was a big thing as well in my life, personally. I don't really know what else like positively has happened personally in my life. I think the marriage is a big thing. And I've had a lot of goals this year, like in terms of myself. Like we had the wedge shred, so I was like a bit more physique focused, and I did high rocks, and I did the half marathon, and then I've been trying to get strong, and I've been hitting some crazy PBs. I won't share it with you yet, but I've done some crazy gym stuff in the past week, and it's all going to come out on the socials soon. But that's been good business-wise. It's been our most successful year ever, which is just crazy to say. I'm very lucky that we have continued support, and people trust us, trust me, trust my staff, trust my gym to help them in their training journey, their lifestyle, healthy, fitness, all that. So yeah, to think that when I started the gym, I thought it was going to be like when I started being a personal trainer, I thought it was going to be a short-term thing, and here we are. I got hired at the end of 2017. And I started like the first or second week of January. So you got to count 2018 as a whole year. So 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Next year's going to be my 9th year as a PT. Wow. So yeah, since like I started as Olivia Hodson personal training, the day one I started as a PT, that's how I started. So like it's literally just grown from there. We haven't really changed paths. Like the path is always like being extended, I guess, beyond my belief. But yeah, it's just crazy. And like I said, next year I've got some really big business goals. I never really thought that, yeah, this was going to be my forever thing. And I guess it is. Even though like imposter syndrome and it's just like so real. Like the thought, like being a business owner is just like a mind fuck in general. Like the thought that you can you can do whatever you want with your business. Like the creativity you can have and the imagination you can have is like out of this world. You can do whatever you want, positively and negatively. But also Like, the amount of times I just think, like, oh, I don't think people like today's workout. They're all going to cancel their memberships. Like, stuff like that runs through my head on a very regular basis. Like, I could wake up tomorrow and everyone's cancelled their membership. Which, obviously is not practical because, I'm sure not everyone from the gym is going to get a group chat and be like, today's the day we all cancel. He, stuff, Olivia. Like, that's not how it would go down. But I'm very, very grateful that we are still on the positive trajectory. And you know what? Like, you do whatever you put your mind to, you will do it. Like, that's the way we roll here. And, even when things aren't positive, because things are not positive all the time. Fuck, we have bad weeks, bad months, bad quarters. Like, we've even had a few bad years. Like, I'm saying this last year's been positive, but not every year has been positive. And you know what? It's just all about not giving up, always striving for more and always doing your best. And if you're doing your best, like, you can't fail. Like, that's sort of the way I look at it. And I don't know, I think I look at things in a very naive way, but I think that's good. Like, I just, if you believe it, you can achieve it to some degree. Like, you got to have a plan and action and all that fucking shit. But, like, I'm literally just a girl. Like, that's the best way to describe me. Like, I didn't know how to do anything when I started at all. Not one thing. Like, I knew how to coach people somewhat. I didn't say I know that well when you first start. But, like, yeah, I just can't believe where we are now. And, even me and Nath going on his holiday is just a really big achievement for us. And we're talking about it today. Like, it's crazy the life that we're living. Or I guess, like, the life that we've created for ourselves, essentially, It's not easy. Shit, I get exhausted. Most days, exhausted. And do I get cranky? Do I get over it? Like, all these things, they happen, but, like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I've had a great year and it's just been so good. So thank you to everyone who's listened to this podcast at least once this year or this podcast today. I'm very grateful. I've said it many times that I'm going to make this podcast like a thing, but sometimes things are just slow burners and you just got to keep chipping on it. And I think that's what I'm sort of doing with it. I think this is in my little dressing room. I actually think this looks good here. Maybe I redo up here a little bit, but this could be the new setup, I think. But yeah, I think we should get Nathan on the podcast more next year because he's really funny. And, like, I think he'd bring some banter to it. But to get that man to sit down and talk to me for an hour is a hard task. So let's see. We should all send Nathan a message and say, you should go on the podcast more next year. Also, you should follow me on TikTok. I don't know what my name is, like Olivia Tantevsky maybe. Because I'm going to do so much TikToking when I'm away. Fuck, I'm excited. I'm going to become an influencer on TikTok. Just for 6 weeks. But do you know what I love? I love looking back at my own stuff. Like, because I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who's watching it. Well, like, I mean, I'm not putting out stuff that I wouldn't want people to watch, but I more like it that I can look back on these things. Like, I make these videos or whatever, I save them and I look back on them. So if you want to stay up to date with my trip, make sure you follow me on socials. And love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Christmas with your friends, family, whoever you're spending it with, however you're spending it with. Stay safe over the festive season. Drink your water, put on your sunscreen, all that stuff. And bring on 2026. Also, we've already got things in works for 2026 at Live Strong. Keep an eye out in the new year, in the first few days of the new year. The next thing will be launching. So, oh, woohoo! Yeah!